Welcome to It's All Mental podcast, where we explore the mind. With every conversation or episode that we bring to you, we are always talking about the mind. My name is Asiat, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about anxiety. How do we get to know that I am affected by it? Is it all bad? Are there some good things about it? And today here with me, I have Aisha Nawajji. She's a social worker, and she's going to help us unpack this conversation and tell us more about it, how it affects our brain, and how we can be in position to support ourselves when we have it. Aisha, you are most welcome to It's All Mental podcast.
Thank you so much, Asiat.
We are happy to have you.
I'm glad to be here today.
Could you tell the audience who's watching you today for the first time, who are you, what do you do, which kinds of people are you supporting?
Yeah, a social worker by profession. I've so far been into the mental health field for the past 10 years. Have worked with refugees for 6 years, have been into community-based support on the mental health work for the past 3-4 years in school. Have worked with adolescents, supporting mothers and protecting children who have undergone mental health challenges. I'm glad to be here, Asiat.
We are happy to have you. Like we have said, anxiety, most of us, there are very many myths that are around talking about anxiety. Most of the time, someone has something happening to them and they're like, I think I am anxious. Things like that. So could you try to explain to us what is anxiety in its entirety?
Wow, thank you so much. Scientifically, I can define for you anxiety as an emotional disorder. I would call it an emotional disorder, which is a response to a perceived threat. It's your mind telling you that, you know what, there could be danger. It's your mind or an internal system, an alarm into your body telling you that, hey, respond to this. So anxiety is that part of mental health that is always responding to foreseen danger. It foresees danger coming, and then your body has to respond to it. Okay. That's briefly I can define.
Is that where we have, they talk about flight, fleeing, and they're all responses to things that show us that we are in danger?
Yeah, please. Yeah, explaining more about the flight and flee mode. It's part of the brain that will tell you if it foresees danger. That's called the amygdala. It detects danger. Then it signals the body, hey, there is danger here. Then the body will produce adrenaline or cortisol, and these are hormones that will bring in heartbeat, fasten your breath, and in the end, you find that you start trembling and getting all the symptoms of anxiety. This could be a public speech and you are invited, so your body trying to respond to it. So this adrenaline comes in, and then
because you find that people are preparing to go and present, you have a very big audience. Does that also happen to them? And their body, they start sweating? You can feel their heartbeat is so high. Is that also a part of anxiety?
True. We have normal anxiety and abnormal anxiety. This is normal anxiety. It's human. It's part of our lives. Once you're called for a public speech, you have a job interview, you're told to show up at an interview, any kind of interview. So your body has already sensed danger. Then your hormones have started going up. That's when you start experiencing the symptoms. This hormone is telling your body, please respond to danger. You start sweating, trembling, and again you start getting faster heartbeats, and it's a normal thing. With normal anxiety, it's a one-off. So you're going to have it as soon as this event that has triggered it is done. That's the end of the anxiety. Okay. But with abnormal anxiety, it's
there
persistent.
Even after the event is done.
Thank you. So it's persistent. You find yourself, the event is done, you're perceiving it as if something has already happened. I think I haven't done it well. It ends up affecting even your daily living. your heart and your mind is stuck onto what already happened. So as it goes on affecting your whole, that's when we sense that this person might be in need of support.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that means that there is a very big difference between fear and anxiety. Because you've said that there is no more anxiety. That is the fear that we're talking about. Because I may become a little bit anxious because I'm going to present. I'm going to, for example, there is something that really needs my attention. I have an assignment to accomplish, and I find myself that it gives me that, feel. But when it gets to be persistent, that is when we are talking about it in a sense of anxiety.
Yes, I would say you're right. Fear and anxiety are distinct but related.
Okay.
Yeah, fear, I would say, is a primitive response. It's short-lived. For example, you've seen a snake. So, you triggered to jump. But anxiety is a cognitive process. You start the cognitive process of interpreting the event. Then you think about which decision to take.
Should I run away?
Yeah. You evaluate the entire process and you're like, should I freeze? Should I flee? Should I fight back? So that's the difference between fear. So fear is short-lived and anxiety is a bit
persistent.
I wouldn't say persistent. It's very short. It's a very short episode. Fear is a short episode. But anxiety is kind of a planned episode. I don't know if you can get it.
I get it.
Yes, it's kind of planned. So your mind will perceive it. There is danger somewhere. It's coming to you. Then you think about it. You've already seen it. In the process, you start planning which decision to take. If you're to take a decision, evaluation, you evaluate which kind of response should I give.
Do I run away? That's why we see some people in terms of danger, like there is a riot, they may find themselves that they are stuck.
Yeah, I know.
They don't move. And then others are quick to run away.
True.
For their safety.
Yes, please. That is fear and anxiety. They are distinct but similar.
At the same time, they look like each other.
Yes.
Could you give us some examples of scenarios where, because everyone is anxious about different things, and which scenarios, because we've seen some people who are scared of, going up on high buildings, others fear getting associated with animals or pets, and really the other person, it gives them that scare. Which kinds of different anxieties do you know about that you can share with the audience that is watching us today?
Okay, in the current era, I would say anxiety is these days manifesting in several ways. We've got work-related anxiety, daily stressors of work. We've got tight deadlines. We've got targets to meet. So all that gives us kind of anxiety. We are anxious about that target, keeping deadlines. The other one is about financial stress or financial anxiety. We've got debts, we've got loans here and there, and then people are anxious. Your time for repayment is due. You're thinking about how to do it. How am I going to get the money? So you're here and there. You're so anxious. Are they taking me? There is also another lifestyle we've adopted of technology. So social media today is sending alerts now, then, in 10 seconds, 5 seconds. This negativity that comes out, people wake up to negativity. They scroll through and these news are judging them. These people have a lot of pain. So that anxiety, people are equipped with adrenaline. Each time they open up their phones, they are thinking something is happening behind
them.
them.
I posted something and I'm only looking out for the negative comments that people may have said about me.
Thank you so much. Also, anxiety at workplace. You find your boss has sent in an email, can we talk?
And you're like, Are they going to fire me?
Uh-huh.
What did I do?
What could it be about?
So even if it was just a simple check-in,
True.
like, hi Aisha, how are you? How are things moving? But because for me, I'm already anxious, I have that anxiety that anything that is coming from my boss is not going to be something positive, and it puts me always on the edge.
Sure. So that's how anxiety these days is manifesting in several ways. Job interviews, we've got these appointments. You're going to meet someone for a business gig. Will I be able to get this? Ceremonies, events, and so on can all lead us into anxiety.
Okay. Also, for example, for children, could we say that things that have to do with the education system and how it's transforming, you may say that they could also be some of the things that children could be anxious about?
Yeah, true. We have exams. Some kids end up getting sick. They get sick and they are like, Mommy, I can't do it, because they can't figure it out. You know, mental health is not limited to age. It can affect all categories of people. So even kids can get anxious over several things. They have performances at school. They have exams. They have tests. They have deadlines. So all that can lead us into anxiety.
Okay, so you've talked about public speaking being one of them. You've also talked about being judged online. You've also talked about the financial worries. There are quite a number of things that could bring a lot of anxiety in our communities. And are there anything apart from this that you've shared that you feel like could also be other things that could trigger us? For example, I have learned to manage my anxiety. I've been getting support, but are there some things that could be able to trigger me even when I've been able to manage?
Yeah, true that things are there that can trigger anxiety. I would say one is emotional overload. So you're trying to manage your anxiety, but you can never get rid of your phone. You're always checking your phone, no time. Lack of physical release. Some of us have no time to relax. You do not take time off. So even self-care. If you're trying, true, self-care. So even if you try so hard, let me try this. The therapist is working. We are trying to work on this. So as long as you've not given yourself time, not take off time for technology, you might end up not managing that anxiety so well.
That means that there are those things that if we don't find ourselves that we put a limit to them, even these episodes could really come back, even when we are trying to manage ourselves. Okay, talking about all this, we have seen how things have been evolving over time. Like you've said, anxiety back in the time was different to what it is right now because of the technology that we're having, the modernization, the urbanization, and everything. Could you say that right now social media is bringing more of anxiety as compared to back in the time where people could interact on a normal basis personally, rather than right now we are interacting over the phone? I don't even know you, but someone is commenting something. Could you say that social media right now could be a very big factor that is affecting people and putting them into this anxious state?
You said it rightly. Social media has exacerbated anxiety. People are overloaded. Information overload is too much. People are getting negativity daily or hourly. So social media has worsened the situation that many people are victims of cyberbullying as they are trying to manage their anxieties. Social media brings it out. People are getting too much to themselves because of being surrounded by news. Social media is too open that people are getting negativity, insults, bullying, and everything that could trigger their anxieties. So this makes them feel small, to blame. If someone posted something very small, and at the end of the day, they are expected to give a reason for their post. Others are insulting them, even before they have understood the situation. People have already taken judgments. They have already taken sides. So social media, to some extent, has worsened this mental health condition.
That you find that even when I'm trying to manage, other people are putting me back. And take an example. We have seen scenarios where we have to promote our businesses, and people are also learning over like we are using these big platforms to learn, to be able to market our business, to be able to socialize, because right now the way of life is socialization. But at the end of the day, because already the people who are there are very negative, I may find myself that it is keeping me to be very anxious and being on the edge, because I'm waiting that anytime, any day, someone is going to be saying something about my size, someone is going to be talking about how my business is not worth it, things like that. So how would you advise someone who is, because we are in this day and age, how would you advise someone who is oftenly finding themselves that they are very involved in using social media as a platform for various reasons that they have, but they feel like at the end of the day, it is stopping them from even promoting their business, even because, for example, LinkedIn is being used for people to connect over work, over things that have to do with different organizations. They are learning platforms, but at the end of the day, someone is using it, but they are limited to using it because of that anxiety that could be there, depending on the comments that come from that kind of situation. So how would you advise them to do it?
I would say or advise people using social media that first of all, we should understand the nature of work we are doing and do an evaluation of the things that we are doing. So if it's really very important for you to post or seek connection, please go ahead and do it. But make your body and mind aware or prepared that anything can do what? Can happen at any time. However, this puts our adrenaline levels so high because we are always equipped. Someone is putting up a post for connection, but at the end of the day, they are expecting negativity. So they are harmed to all the time to interact or to fight back. So this is also affecting, but I would advise, let us have time off social media if we could. It's a good habit. And also, let's have the breathing relaxation and body relaxation techniques at work. Let's relax our bodies. Ensure that our bodies can be physically fit, even if this anxiety sets in. So your body is ready to receive it. You will not get so much into the symptoms of body aches, trembling, because you're already equipped. So much can be done. Let's seek therapy and medication in case you've undergone this.
Okay, you've also told us that people have to understand the situation about anxiety, that I have to know when I react, that things like this could be able to trigger me off.
Yeah.
So right now, if someone is getting to understand this situation, how would you advise them? Like which kind of strategies could they put in place to find themselves, apart from social media, other because we've talked about other things that are brought out by anxiety or things that trigger anxiety, which other things can someone be in position to put in place to find themselves that they can be protected or they are well guarded?
The best thing is about sensitization. Could we think about sensitization in communities and schools so that people know this is a normal feeling? It's a normal response to danger. It's a normal response for our bodies to live. We should have this. Anxiety is not all that bad, though not good, but because it helps us focus. For example, you have an exam. Anxiety will help you to prepare more and even pass with better grades.
Yes, because you know that for me, when it's close to time for exams, I am really in that mode.
We should never pray to get totally rid of it, because to some extent it's really helpful. Though, when it's into its extreme, it can again affect the way we live. But we should just learn how to manage our anxiety.
And I have seen people who are also using it to their advantage. Like you've said, someone knows that, for example, I have deadlines, I have targets to meet. But if I find myself that I'm going towards the the time that these deadlines are coming, I find myself that I tend to make sure that I finish my work on time, such that by the time it reaches the deadline, I'm not on the edge. I don't find myself that I'm very anxious. I'm very unprepared. If it's for interviews, people have used it very positively, that because of that fear, that adrenaline, it makes them give proper answers. Someone is very active, but they're using it to their advantage. So meaning that someone shouldn't beat themselves up.
No, not really. So I'm thinking that it should be managed, not fighting to get rid of it. Even if you try to fight anxiety, for it's a normal response. It's human. You could just understand it in a way that it's set in you. Just learn how to manage it and live with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, like all the things that we have said, what are some of the closing remarks that you would give someone who is watching us today in terms of the things that can trigger them if you don't have it? And for someone who has it right now, what can they be in position to stand on, so that by the end of the day, when things are not going well, this is what I should do. I should be able to do this in order to find myself so that I can calm myself down. I'm in control of the anxiety that I have.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Asiat. And I would wish everyone understood that anxiety is a normal feeling. It's part of our lives. And the second one, I would wish that information about anxiety reaches as far as many people. The other one is in schools, let us prioritize such so that we equip people with the skills of managing such mental illnesses. And also, I would like to share more about the brain, that the brain is the control of the entire body. So once you train it well, it can help you control such. If you had an interview and once you told your body and brain that I'm going for an interview, I would encourage people to practice. Try it out. It calms you down. It helps you to reduce this anxiety and adrenaline levels. By the time you reach there, you've already tried it out. Maybe also that mistakes are human. People should understand that even if I did a mistake, I'm not God. I'm not an angel. Mistakes are human. But some of the people undergoing this are looking at perfectionism. They want to be as perfect as possible so that no mistake comes out of what they are doing. This puts them under too much tension and they end up again getting very, very anxious. Basically, that's what I can advise.
Okay, to everyone who has been watching us for this episode, we have talked about or unpacked about anxiety, how it does happen, what are the responses that usually happen when someone is anxious. And we've also seen some of the things that you may have not looked at as some of the things that can bring you to be anxious, but we have talked about them. For example, when you find that you are going for an interview, that feeling that you get, that nervousness that you feel is normal for you to feel the way that you are feeling. Also, times when we don't know what to do, we have to seek for support. Like Aisha has said, we also have to take advantage of the fact that we are having anxiety and use it to our advantage to get things done in a better way. I have been Asiat Nakawunde, your host, and this is It's All Mental Podcast.